Good evening, my friends. This is Paul. I want to make two apologies really quickly. First off, my voice is incredibly weak because I've been shouting quite a lot today, mostly because I had a really hard and hectic day at work. Don't even remind me. And then when I went to my young adult group, we were in a very loud and noisy environment where most of us knew each other, so that did not help matters. And if this microphone glitches out on me like crazy, I don't even care, because my Lenten resolve is to go to bed before midnight, and I wanted to get this over with while I still have this on my forehead. Now, I made a video like this before when I first started this channel called Lenten Ashes. It was actually one of the earliest videos I ever did with my new format. And so I figured with a better camera angle, more experience with YouTube, and with my 2-year anniversary of reviewing video games coming up, I figured now would be as good of a time as ever to talk about why do Catholics have dirt on their forehead. Well, first off, this isn't dirt, these are ashes. What happens is after Palm Sunday, the palms that we wave during the gospel acclamation are burned, and so the holy ashes are distributed in the sign of a cross on our forehead as a way of us remembering not only our mortality, that eventually we're going to turn into ashes when we die, but also because we need to be aware that in this present time of Lent, we only have so much time before we die, and our top priority, of course, ought to be God. So instead of wasting time with pointless pleasures that could be avoided, we need to devote using our time of Lent to prepare us to getting closer to God. So if that means giving up chocolate, that might lead some people away from God, but it might not necessarily be something like that. So as Lent begins, kind of crazy that it was on St. Valentine's Day too, but as the season of Lent begins, we need to ask ourselves, what can we do to get us closer to God? Not necessarily how can we punish ourselves as badly as possible. And before you say, well, Paul, I'm watching this video and I'm not Catholic, so why are you telling me this? Well, believe it or not, I actually had this very conversation with someone in the cafeteria today. He wasn't Catholic, but yet he found the idea of Lent very appealing, and he actually, I don't know if he actually went through with it or not, but he said that he wanted to give Lent a try. And so I told him the requirements that, well, now that today's over, it's kind of pointless, but if you ever survive to live another Lent, on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, we only have 2 small meals and 1 big meal, and we don't eat between meals, and we also don't make it super fancy. And then Fridays, we abstain from meat. We're also asked to show a form of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving during Monday through Saturday of Lent. Sundays are like a mini Easter. I explained that in my previous video where at least I think I did. It's been 2 years since I've seen that. Sundays are the day of rest, and so we also rest from our penance. But we shouldn't get so caught up in the resting that we forget that this is not supposed to be a temporary punishment for the sake of it. Like, if you're only in it just to lose weight, for instance, that can be cool, but it's not something that's necessarily going to get you closer to God. If something is like truly hindering your relationship with Him, Lent is a time to prepare us to perhaps eventually give it up for good or show more moderation. Well, with that being said, I don't want to strain my vocal cords any longer as I'm going to have to wash off these ashes, but to sort of summarize what I've said in case this video is somehow still too long for you, the ashes are a reminder that we're eventually going to turn to dust, and so we want to get as close as possible to having our glorified bodies after we die, and also because we have such little time before we become ashes, to try our best to focus on that which will get us closer to eternity. With that being said, I hope that the Fire Emblem Warriors Shadow Dragon DLC comes out on time, because it didn't when I tried uploading it, and that's a bummer. I haven't forgotten about talking about Warriors DLC, I just haven't tried it out enough. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, albeit penitential Lent. And until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye.